Time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Plant, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. I don't know. Is the beachwear inappropriate for back to the rhymes? Okay. Excuse me. So, School Us album sales. So I didn't make it over to Black Market Skate Shop. No action on the album, but got to check in. We got a Genesis_video Instagram, the skateboarding, and see what's going on with that. I didn't check it out, but they got a lot of followers. So I want to say good job. I didn't talk to the as part of the crew to say if I should give any more detail, but I want to at least say that. So yeah, I need to check into that. But no movement on the album. I don't like, country song. I don't like Sunsets much, any of that. No, but maybe I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that because I have something to share. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so YouTube channel. So let me start with my coworker. We discussed doing a song together, maybe in his language, my language, collaborate, but also maybe doing the Back to the Rhymes intro song in his language and where does he live. So it's kind of a joke, kind of having fun, but I think it could happen. I'll have to follow up with him and see what, try to gauge the real level. But I think he wants to. I know he wants to do some raps. What's the way? Because for him, he works a lot. I work a good amount. He works even more. But we'll have to see. That's why you have days like Veterans Day. I already made a plan, but these holidays, not Thanksgiving, but the kind of smaller holidays are good for my coworkers to get together and try to do stuff because I know we both have the day off. So anyhow, not yet with that. I think I did. I just posted the real nothing with the Instagram. It was like 50 plus. It's okay. I tried doing a still shot, deadbeat male retriever, the aftermath of a deadbeat male retriever is the caption. So that was the first time I ever did a still and posted it on Instagram. I got like 5 people to look at it. It's pretty funny though. People don't get their mail and their neighbor has to tell them, hey man, the mailman is asking you if you're going to empty your mailbox because I couldn't find them. So, and the indicator that it's been a while is you look at the recycling bin in the ADVO, we call it ADVO, those ads that come out weekly are all in balls. So you look at the recycling bin, you got little balled up ads. It's because they were shoved down in there. Some people will take them out and, line them up nice to fit a lot. Nah, I just kind of shove them in. I try to get them to go way down, but anyhow, that was my first time to try that. 5, so not a big deal, but I thought it was funny. TikTok, 750 or so. That's good. And then before I move on, I got to say, so my man out there in Pakistan would like if I could preach to the people of Pakistan. Wow, I'm being asked to preach to people in Pakistan. Praise the Lord. And he sent me a WhatsApp something as a way to connect. And so I'm like, all right, well, let's try. It used to be on WhatsApp and we got off of it because we're not using it. We did it for, I won't skip ahead, but basically Bellevue Ballers. You stopped using it and I haven't touched it since, but I guess that's how I would connect with someone in Pakistan. So I do work at Jet City. My man's from there. if I need some help, kind of, hey, where's he at? You know, what's going on? Where's he live? But of course, my friend over there from the Pizza Days is not of the same faith, but he's very supportive. He said a lot of Christians or there's missionaries in Pakistan, so there's schools that are built by missionaries. So pretty cool. I can say at our retreat, we go around a lot of these countries. I think even including India. They didn't talk about Pakistan, but many countries have no more than 2% Christian population. So it's really unusual. So I could see why he would want to have some support from anybody, you know, outside the country, anyone inside and outside, because the more the merrier, right? So I told him I would love the opportunity to do that, but maybe we do a video or something. So I'm excited to see if I can, but then that's what's so frustrating. I'm making a song called Inadequate because one area I definitely feel inadequate in is technology and just get shut down all the time. And I've got to ask the right person at the right time, maybe for help. But, WhatsApp, man, I don't know. What's up with the WhatsApp? It didn't make no sense. I got a certain way, I installed it, got to a certain point, and all of a sudden it wants a pin, and I couldn't figure it out. So it's just like, man, that's why I'm going to see Noah, because he helped me, but then I tried to get on Spotify, and I couldn't find my songs. He did everything right, I'm sure. I don't know if it's still not enough time for him to upload them or something, but I'm like, man, I just lose heart, the work I do with Will, he's nowhere near very good at technology. I'm probably a little ahead of him on some of this stuff because I use it, but we got our strengths and weaknesses, and this technology just shuts us down, So it's one thing to create content and share a good message, but there's another thing just to be able to get it out there, and just being so limited. So yes, we need each other, the techies and the non-techies, well, the techies so YouTube did well, another 500 plus. And then I was at 20 when I got on just now. TikTok's at like 34. So not like shooting through the roof here, but got another subscriber. I think in the last 30 days, I'm now maybe up to 6 subscribers in a 30-day period, which is a record. So I'm up to 80 subscribers, and I'm very thankful for that. Because not all these folks are doing it, and I hear about that, but I'll take it. And you talk about critical mass, or if you start like this and you get to a certain point, you always hope you hit the knee in the curve and things go right. So you just keep plugging away. So that's it for YouTube and stuff. And as far as I got my background, I'm working on it, Tom. Hopefully, I got shut down. I was going to make a copy of this, or print off a copy and put a copy in there, but I got it in the, trying to get the logo in the right spot. So kind of where it says logo goes here, I got the logo. Man. Sorry. It's just like I was going to use a computer. And I heard, why are you here now? All right, I'm done. Just like when I try to do stuff, what's it say? No, nothing for rules and engagement. Bellevue Ballers, time to engage somebody. Why are you here? Okay, I'm done. So I just try to do stuff, but I don't want conflict for this stuff. So, that's just the way it goes. I'll pull it back because I can wait for another time. All right. Okay, so Bellevue Ballers related. There's a fellow in our network who is doing it big, I would say, with the country music. I'd say as an independent artist. He's working on his business, and then he's got, he's staying involved or active with music, but I think he just performs locally in Southern Oregon, Southwest Oregon. Yeah, he's Josie Awards, it's called, and he's up for Songwriter of the Year. He said he can't be there because he's busy with his business, and that's cool. But he said his manager's gonna, if he gets the award, his manager will accept it for him. I was like, manager, So it's like this guy's songwriter. He's published, or he's got stuff. He's made real progress. So for me, probably to get insight from him, because there's no one that I'm aware of personally that's in a more similar um, plan. Like we're working on a business to fund our passion, not to maybe focus on our passion to maybe one day blow up and then that funds it. But we have a business vehicle that can fund our passion and then have more options. So that's his path too. And he could do it with his wife, just like I could do with my wife, where I don't know if his wife's doing music. I haven't seen that. I can tell you mine isn't. So, and I just like to become more successful because he's starting to have success, him and his wife, and I'm really excited for him. And that gets you a lot more opportunities to get around other successful people, and it builds on itself. It really does. It can go up. So he's trying to have the breakout, and he's got mentors that can help him who are doing well. So I just try to gain what I can from him, and then maybe ask him questions about music and stuff too. But he's in Southern Oregon. I could have seen him in Everett, possibly. I didn't see him. If I saw him, I think I'd recognize him, but I think I might be able to see him in February in Portland. I mean, it's possible, but just most likely time I could probably see him again is maybe in February in Portland. So let's see if that happens. Anyway, I'm very encouraged, very excited about that. All right, so music for Back to the Rhymes, and the song I'm doing now, I want to share it with Alex, and we had someone we were kind of working with a little bit, but it's just not fit in the sense that the worldview is not there. It's a tough match. I mean, we're not matched great, but we have that similar worldview. And he says we both want to get out of Seattle. Fair enough. I'd like to see Seattle just get nicer or go to a nicer part. I don't have to get out, but yeah, I don't feel like that. But he's not from here like I am. So, but I want the choice to get out. Sure. Yeah. I don't have to be here. That's a fact. So anyway, so yeah, that didn't go forward. And he mentioned about going to open mics, and I think that's good if we can do that, if my schedule allows for it. Just to network, really, and just to perform and practice a little bit. So, but I don't know. He asked me to print out 4 songs that we've done, type them out on my. Oh man, it's like or WhatsApp. Okay, so I might just show up with one printed out song. I mean, if I could get 4, that would be amazing. But if I just show up with 1, hey, that's better than 0. Because again, I'm just not just sitting there like, what's on TV? And of course, I'm like anybody. If I got a little downtime, I can get carried away on politics. That's really my go-to, I'd say. And fantasy basketball or baseball, not too, yeah, a little bit. But I'm not watching the games. I'm not, watching. I'm just watching clips. But it's something that I can go on and on. Just depends, right? Binge politics, But for me, it's just getting questions answered, seeing where we can get a leg up. The political viewpoint I come from can have more success than the one that seems like it's against not just me but the country, it would seem. So anyhow, that's why I don't want to say, yeah, sure, I'll have those for you. But I did say let's just see. I'll get one for sure. And then he can have a copy and I'll have a copy, and that'll be a start. So merch there. Do you see it? Merch right there. So I haven't been able to get down to Intervision CL Records to see, but I'm looking forward to the tote bag. I'll tell you that. All right, so this is it, man. This is the final week, and you can vote for Donald John Trump, right? He's not going to run again. No one thinks. I don't care. It doesn't matter what happens. He's not going to run again. It doesn't. They can steal it times 100. Why would he? Why would he do it again? Right. So everyone who doesn't want to hear him campaign, if he wins, I hope he does. He should. It's 4 more years, but I'm enjoying the ride. I'll tell you that, because for people who like him, really like him, and we know there's nobody like him, right? But if you don't like him, there's nobody like him, so you'd be happy to not hear from him. And so either way, it's 4 more years. And then after that, he could be a kingmaker, right? So it's going to be, and that's going to be very interesting. So that's that. The thing I thought was kind of the most interesting to me, because you try to say the polls, I don't know how accurate they are. They're saying in Pennsylvania and Michigan, they mentioned those two, that the candidates running for Senate are saying they side with Trump on issues, but they're trying to win as Democrats. You're trying to ride the coattails of Trump and still win as a Democrat in these so-called swing states. So for me, that's pretty good indicator Trump's the odds-on favorite, wouldn't you say? Why would you, if he's so terrible and Hitler, why would you say you're with him or something? It doesn't make any sense unless they're talking out both sides of their mouth. And then you had a guy, I saw him on Fox Business or something, talk about the CEOs are contacting Trump because their polling is probably the most accurate, right? Their companies need to know. You talk about insider trading or whatever. They'll pay whatever they got to pay. This is not for the networks. It's for them to know who's going to be president. And they'll pay whatever they got to pay to get a good read on that, right? And they're saying, time to start calling Trump. He's going to win. So hopefully that's real. I don't get to, but those are a couple things that I see that I've heard that suggest he should win. I mean, besides things that people just see, I just say, someone asked, why don't you vote for Harris? Simple. If I was a Democrat, I'm not. I didn't get to pick my candidate. You picked for me. That's too bad. And there's a ton of other reasons, but that's just like, what the heck? And to be okay with that, you're really not paying close attention to politics at that point. You're just kind of low information voter, as Rush would say. You're a low information voter, and low information voters are totally okay having their candidate picked for them. So that's that. All right, let me share some great news. It's not anything guaranteed in this world, but you will be glorified. I talked to somebody, got to know the ministry, the church, and she is willing to hopefully help me. There might be a possibility to help me with this song, and I would be so thankful. And because for her, she thinks it's a waste if I have this talent and it's not being used, and I couldn't agree more. And I thank you for recognizing that. So it's one thing to make that statement, which I felt really I appreciated, but also, somebody who can maybe possibly help. So it's one thing to say, yeah, what a shame that you just work at the post office when you have a gift that can bless so many people, right? So I agree. I certainly do agree. And so God's timing, and we'll just see. Because if that happens, like she's telling me she can do it, didn't seem like a big deal to her. Like, okay, then I will do the next thing. But let's just see how that goes. All right. So current event, was there something? I guess it's kind of, I already talked about the election. I thought there was something else. Let me just share. It was a conversation with someone today, but I think this is easy to understand. I've heard the comment from her, and I think she understood what I was saying, but I heard from my man, Super Glue Man. Americans aren't willing to work for. There's some jobs they're not willing to do. We got to go outside the country. We got to go get the cheap labor because Americans won't do it. Okay. Some things are a little complicated to break down, but this one's easy. No, you don't. No, you don't. If the job needed to get done, and if someone needed it to get done, they would pay whatever they needed to pay to get the job done. And the reason they don't need to do that is because they can get someone in here, not legally, to do it for less. That's not complicated. And so, and how would you stop that? I mean, you got prostitution, drug dealing. I mean, you think you're going to stop people from paying some guy under the table or someone not here legally? It's going to be hard. I mean, there's prostitution, there's human trafficking, there's drugs. Oh, there's a lot. There's guns that are out here that aren't supposed to be. They're illegal. So it's just one more thing. Yeah, there's a lot of lawlessness, but you can't just sit here and give it a rubber stamp and say, "Yep, that's fine. Americans won't do it. We'll just look the other way." No, that shouldn't be the goal. Got to try to do better than that, right? So I'm gonna get back to the rhyme. So, yeah, this song, like I said, kind of introspective. Uh oh. There we go. I didn't get this prepared. Oh boy. Okay. So the song's called Inadequate. And I heard was it 80% in the sermon today, 80% of maybe young people under 18 they feel lonely. They don't feel like they fit, maybe. And I heard maybe it's when they're 65 or older, it's only 45%, which is, wow, that's good. And maybe when you get older, you know how to connect with people better. Maybe it's the generation we're in where connection isn't happening as much because of social media and technology, and kind of you're in your own little world. But man, it can create feelings of emptiness, loneliness, uncertainty. And so this song is kind of about that. I want it to be an encouragement, but it still affirm that feeling that I certainly have, and many people do. So it goes like this. Inadequate is the name, right? Okay. So, and I have a plan for this song, but let me just share what I have so far. Where do I sit? Where do I stand? Do I fit? What's the plan for my life given to me? Not by others, but by the one who loves me. So that's 8 seconds. Or it's 10 seconds. It's enough for a short. So I plan to have that as kind of like the chorus, and then keep going and do a verse. And then do it again and again and again for a few times, right? So, yeah, that's kind of the point. It's like God loves us. If God is for us, I should have the Bible here. I don't have that memorized, but I think you've heard that. I'll have to get back to you. If God is for us, who can be against us, right? And of course, if we're for Him, that doesn't work, right? If we're for Him, who can be against Him? Well, plenty of people can be against Him, but He's going to win ultimately. Let's try that out. If He is for us, who can be against us? If we are for Him, it matters not because he'll still win. And they talk about God's sovereignty and all that. He's not affected. I mean, his plan's going to happen, right? It's our job to find out his plan for his people, including us. Where do we fit in, right? So, if we are for him, it matters not because he will still win. If he is for us, who can be against? If we are for him, it matters not because he will still win. Not if, but when. Not if, but when. So here's something I'm going to try this one. I'm going to say, because he'll still win, not if, but when. That's related to the sentence before, but I want to relate to the next sentence. Not if, but when. I think. Not if, but when will we turn to him is kind of what comes to my mind. But that's going to be separate. Let's just do it as a question. Will we turn to him? In so doing, what does that look like? That's going to seem so foreign to so many. Do we really have plenty of time? But if we can't, if we don't feel whole, he won't mind answering. Kind of like the last song, I almost hesitate to say it, but answering the call. He won't mind answering the call. I can go on, but should I go on? Do we really have plenty of time? But if we don't, let me get rid of that. If we don't feel whole, he won't mind answering the call. I think that says it all. That about says it all. Says it all. For now. And then that's the end of verse 1. Till next time, we'll get back to the rhymes.